Hey everyone, in this video, I'll be going over my progress after 15 days of SMMA, and today is March 7th of 2023, 11:23 p.m. And over the last, I'd say around last 6 days, I've been grinding over how to get a Facebook ad set up and especially Google Tag Manager, how to get things such as the Conversions API set up, and a lot more. So let's just get right into it. Starting off with the website. So right here, I pretty much changed nothing. Over the past 6 days, I pretty much the same stayed consistent because I was focusing on the whole tag manager, Facebook ads, and the Google ads side of things. But a couple of changes here and there. The biggest one is I changed the service in which I used for the outcome quiz. So the outcome quiz, the whole idea of it was a customer comes in and then they see this entire picture, the whole picture is all the text, and they're overwhelmed. They don't know which option is best for them. So I will ferry them onto something like an outcome quiz where they will get personalized questions based on how they respond, and their answers will influence at the very end the outcome or what treatment option for, because my mom's business is a massage business, how they should treat their condition based on the things that they answered. So Involve Me unfortunately did not work, and I had to switch to typeform.com to create this because there's some integration problems. I couldn't find a way to integrate the code into the header because, well, high level always kept on saying that they couldn't validate the HTML. So I had to switch to Typeform. I thought it was actually a lot better than Involve Me because it's such a large platform. We can just do so much with Typeform. So if I just take you to the preview of the page itself, this is what it looks like. It cannot be more standard as sort of website / landing page. I might even create a separate landing page because there's just so much information here, and you can even click on all of these and they lead to specific pages and everything. So it's not really a funnel at this point. Anyways, so right here I have integrated the Typeform option where if you click this, right, you will actually be redirected to the Typeform quiz itself. And I'm just going to just show you guys in Typeform itself, just so that I don't take one of my free responses for the month. So you will see something very standard, right? What is the most suitable massage treatment for me? So that is exactly what they will see when they click on this, right? So you can press start here, find out now, takes 4 minutes, and same thing for here. So let's find out now. Let's just go through the quiz, how I made it. So very standard assessment questions, right? You want to make the audience feel like it's personalized, and it is. It is something that takes into consideration a lot of the things that they suffer from, right? We're trying to solve the pain point of the customer. So first, we got to establish trust, and at the same time, we need to understand what they're trying to be here for. So all of this information will actually be ferried into Typeform, and Typeform will blah blah blah, all of these. But I'll explain the nuances in a separate videos. So I'm just down here answering all the questions. Let's just I have some headaches and some digestive problems. I'm a pescatarian. Let's just say I have no past medical injuries. And let's just go with Jane Smith. And let's just say it's 123. 1 2 da 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 da. And sure, Jane at gmail.com. Perfect. So I would submit this. 604. There we go. So it would actually come up with the result that it will give based on what the customer responded with onto the quiz. So very basic, the title, brief description, and some of the benefits, just for a bit of background of how it can benefit, because after all, the business is meant to serve the customer. And I was thinking that I would use this button right here, learn about acupressure. If this was something like foot reflexology, it would say learn about reflexology, and this would actually lead to a specific landing page, specific link that has a very unique URL in which I can use. If they clicked on this, the special URL would not be shared across any other pages on my website. For example, if they got acupressure, right? There's an acupressure learn more page, right? Learn more button right here. If we press it, it actually brings us to the acupressure page. in the descriptions, who will benefit, etc. So what I was thinking is, because anyone can access this, you cannot really differentiate if they came here from the quiz or they came here just because of curiosity. And the quiz is obviously going to be more the bottom of the funnel, more towards the bottom. So I decided that I would actually duplicate this page and create a separate page of the same thing, but I changed the URL into something like acupressure quiz X, or acupressure outcome quiz, something that is not just acupressure. And I will actually use Facebook or Google Tag Manager specifically to track people that are able to access this specific link. And that will actually, that I have not done yet because I have not finished completing all the pages. But once that has been done, I will actually go ahead and try to do that. Anyways, so the second part that I wanted to show you is how I got the tracking set up. It will obviously not be an in-depth of the step-by-step guide on how I did all these things, because that will be for a separate video. If you guys want to see a video like that, just leave a comment down in the description and I'll help you do it. So if I go back into Google Tag Manager, this is where I basically control everything from Facebook and from Google. Google Tag Manager is kind of like this consolidation software where it takes all the ads, all the traffic, all the information, and also from the ads like Facebook, Google, Reddit, whatever. It takes whatever's happening over there, and it kind of compiles it into a system where you can edit one of these tags, and then you can use that tag. When that tag triggers, it launches information to Facebook, or it launches information to Google Ads specifically. So I'll actually leave a link in the description as to how I set this up, because this was the guy that I found was super helpful in this regard. He taught me pretty much everything. He also supplied me a bunch of these templates, like the base tracking and everything, and I was super grateful. Please check him out. Anyways, so first is you can see they're separated into Facebook and Google Analytics 4. So that kind of corresponds to Google Ads, Facebook ads, and hopefully I'll have an entire Google Ads section here. Something very standard is page view, right? So the way this works is you basically have something called a trigger, in which a trigger is a condition that needs to be met. So for example, on the website, there is a trigger that says, all pages. So this trigger fires on whenever a page is viewed on the website. So if someone visits the homepage, let's just say, the homepage, that will count as a page view because someone has opened the page that belongs to my domain. And so that's super helpful to track, overall how many people got onto your website. At the same time, there's also triggers such as if they clicked on something. That is what I bounded to website engagement. The pop-up, so the Involve Me form also has one. There's also the page view on a specific page. If they visited acupressure, the page that I just showed you, I'll get a notification that they have visited the acupressure website. There's a lot of other things, but these triggers, when they fire, they actually are meant to be bound to a tag. So in this case, base tracking, this will fire whenever someone views a page. And this is the Facebook Pixel ID. So this is a Facebook Pixel I have installed onto my website, which is like a code or a tracking code that allows Facebook to draw information from what exactly is happening. So Google Tag Manager essentially collects information based on what is going on in the website. They carry it over to Google Tag Manager, and then it will send the information to Facebook and to this Facebook Pixel ID that is used to track whatever is happening on my website, because I configured it so that every time someone viewed a page, Google Tag Manager will essentially detect it, and then it will send the corresponding information to my Facebook account. At the same time, there's things like pop-up engagement, which is a custom one actually. Whenever someone views my pop-up, which the Involve Me form, so that expresses interest. So I then allow them to send information based on who they are, if they ever filled it out and everything like that. And this is super helpful because it allows me to essentially build up an audience. Facebook will essentially adapt to the audience that visits my website, the audience that best are representing what I'm trying to do. So there's also the Google Analytics 4, which I usually do. I used for Conversions API on Facebook. That's a whole other section. Conversion API has been shown to improve ad performance and reduce ad spend. So I decided to go for it. It took me a long time, but there's another guy that helped me do this in the YouTube video. If you guys do want me to show you how exactly I set this all up, you can just tell me. So if I just give you a quick demo of what exactly is happening. So let's just say, let's actually come into Facebook. Let's actually clear all activity, and let's copy the test code. So I will go into my server that I have created. So this is a bit complicated, so just ignore everything for now, and I'm going to paste the test code here. I'm going to save this. So let's preview our website. So essentially, this is going to fire and connect to my website. And as you can see, already things have started firing. Okay, first of all, there's a page view, right? I'm viewing the page. I'm also scrolling. All of these things are triggering these triggers that I have set. So if you come back in here, you have noticed that, first of all, website engagement, because I scrolled 25% down. So that triggers 50% scroll. That will also trigger. At the same time, you can see pop-up engagement, Facebook pop-up engagement. What happened? Well, it seems like the pop-up has opened. So all of this actually detects what exactly is happening and reflects it, and it tracks everything that is happening. So if I go back to Facebook here, you can see a bunch of things that actually happen. First of all, website engagement. Facebook detected, using my test pixel that I put here, it detected things such as what website engagement, which is when I scroll or when I click anything, the browser actually sent, the Google Tag Manager actually sent the corresponding event to Facebook. You can see page view, which is when someone viewed the page, and of course, pop-up engagement, if someone clicked onto the pop-up or it opened by itself after around 20 seconds. So Facebook actually allows us to track all of these events by the assistance of Google Tag Manager. Of course, you don't have to use Google Tag Manager. It adds a layer of complexity, but it helps me manage everything. So I do highly recommend it. And it's especially helpful if you decide to do services that are not just Facebook. If you decide to do something like Google ads, if you do something like Pinterest ads, or any of the corresponding ad platforms, this will be very helpful to you. And as you can see, if I just click anywhere, let's just say I do that, blah, blah, blah. And then let's just say I close out of this. So I can still see the website. Everything is reflected. Let's just say I click on something like that. Let's just say I click on about. So let's just say now I click on acupressure. I'm just, scrolling around and I see, wow, acupressure. This actually seems like something that I might want to do. So I click learn more. And it takes me to acupressure, this page. So I'm just scrolling around in acupressure, just minding my own business. And let's see what has happened back in Facebook. First of all, you can see two things. Website engagement. That is because I clicked it. And what I clicked is the event ID. See, the click over here, it signifies I have clicked something. And more of these events are popping up because it does have sort of a delay when something actually comes up and gets tracked by Facebook. So all of these are pretty much very standard, nothing fancy. If you got into any sort of tracking of Facebook ads and everything like that, you will get to a point like this. If you are wondering what deduplicated means, it's because I have Conversions API set up, and it's very handy for me to see that Conversions API is working. And deduplicated is, when you send something from the server and the browser with the same event ID, and it kind of just throws away this version because there's two of them. It's mainly just tracking purposes, more accurate tracking. I'll make a whole video, as I said, based on what I did here. If you just want a full guide on this, you can see the same thing in Google Analytics. So if I go into something like real time, You can see there's 2 users because I actually connected to the place twice. And yeah, I am in Boston if you are wondering where I am. So everything has been set up. As I said, there's nothing that I really need to do right now except to finish the page. And then I can link all of these elements into Facebook and start tracking. And that is the part that I don't understand. What do I do once I have the setup, right? How, other than creating the ads itself, once I get the data from the customers, how am I supposed to use this data, right? If I do see people engaging with the pop-up, people doing surveys, what do I do with that? That is still a very puzzling thing for me because I just don't know what am I supposed to do after that stage. I'll be researching all of this. Otherwise, my further plans are I need to automate some sort of data collection service. So I was thinking something like Zapier. I allow Zapier access to my Typeform, and it will ferry the information from Typeform onto something like Google Sheets, and then I can store all the data about my customers that have filled out the form on the Google Sheets. That makes it 10 times easier to see everything, what they did, their phone number, their full name, because that is the whole part of the form. But other than that, that is what I have done. So Google Tag Manager, this is the main thing that I focused on, getting all of this set up, getting all the engagements, tracking all the things. You can see I paused a bunch of them because I screwed up a lot. I really did screw up a lot. And Facebook has one of the most frustrating interfaces that I have ever used. I could not find a single thing. The support was terrible. But when you get it working, it just seems so rewarding. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And honestly, if you do ever need anything, you can honestly just come to me. And thank you guys for keeping me accountable here. And I'll be updating you progress in the next couple of days as I progress along through my SMMA journey. And so catch y'all later.